All right, the question today is, do you need a mindset coach? Do you need to do mindset work to succeed in business or to succeed in life? To succeed or not to succeed is the question I ask of thee. And today on Mind Tuner Time, I will answer that question. So let's get into it. All right. So I was having a conversation with somebody who had a coaching program that was, helping people grow their business and make more money. And it was like $5,000 or $10,000. And the guy's like, well, there's a lot of people having success inside this program and they're not doing any mindset work. And I said, yes, and I get it. So here's the thing. What I have observed in studying my own life pretty extensively here for the last 36 years and studying those who succeed and those who do not succeed, those who are inside of coaching programs winning and those who are technically losing rather than learning. And so I'm very obsessed with why people are handed on a silver platter everything that they need to succeed, and yet they're not. And what I am finding the more and more and more I dig into the brain is that there is something going on that I'm calling stove moments, which are really traumatic events to some capacity on some level that happen to people. And so if you think about when you're younger or older and you touch a hot stove, you don't want to do that again. It typically hurts. And so some people have had very few traumatic experiences, or as I deal a lot with people who are, on the spectrum, ADHD, neurodivergent, is that there's a lot more going on in their brain that makes things a little bit more difficult than other people. There's people who think very black and white, and so they hear things even I could say. I've had clients, and I had to recognize this person is taking everything I say literally. And if I'm not bringing that to their awareness, that's potentially causing a lot of harm, even when I'm not trying to. And so here's the thing, is that this idea that do you need mindset work or do you not? Well, I would ask you the question, how's it going for you in life right now? Like professionally? How long, especially, I help a lot of people who are trying to be entrepreneurs, are entrepreneurs, want to be entrepreneurs, and how long you've been trying that thing you're trying? Are you 18 years old, you just gotten started? Or are you 38 years old and you've been at this for 15 years and you still have never made more than $10,000? Right? So if you haven't had a lot of success, then I would say that it is imperative that you do mindset work, that you have a mindset coach. That for me, and this channel is to help you become the mechanic of your mind, to help you be able to do the tune-ups yourself rather than needing someone to do it for you. And so what I have found is that when I grew my video production company, the reality is that I didn't have a lot of trauma. I was bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and just massive imperfect action, right? Massive imperfect action. I have my other shirt here right now. I don't have this one on. This says MIA, massive imperfect action. I have a shirt on now. MIA, massive inspired action. But what I found is as I got older, I started to do MOA, massively overthinking my actions. Now, are you taking a lot of MIA, either inspired or imperfect, or are you taking a lot of MOA, which is not really probably taking much action at all? So what I found when I started my production company is I didn't know what was right or wrong, good or bad, I should or shouldn't do this or that or anything else in between. And so I just took all sorts of action because quite frankly, I wasn't afraid. I hadn't been told, well, if you do that, this could happen. And then think, well, maybe I shouldn't do that because I don't want that to happen. I hadn't touched many stoves, so I didn't have many things that hurt. But as I got older and the more business I did, the more I had success because of this inspired imperfect action, jump out of the plane, build my wings on the way down, not know if I'll actually land. But in life, actually, metaphorically, we can fall out of the plane a lot more times than if we were literally doing it. But so what happened is that the older I got, the more stove moments I had, and the more those stove moments stacked, the more the actions I was thinking about taking had prior baggage associated with them, right? Prior times where I did something and it hurt and it didn't feel good. So a lot of people, maybe you, what's happening is you've had so many stove moments stack that it's preventing you from taking action. And rather than do MIA, you're doing MOA, and you're massively overthinking everything, every step and every action. Whereas I say action creates clarity. There's things you'll think you'll love, you'll hate. Those things you'll think you'll hate, you'll love. Those things you'll think you'll love, you'll love. Those things you'll think you'll hate. And you won't know it until you do it. So you must take an action to gain some kind of clarity on what works or doesn't work. Well, the older I got, I wasn't lacking having not taken action in my life. What had happened is I took so much action that it technically hurt so much to want to take more actions. And my subconscious was what I call subconsciously sabotaging me, because it wasn't that I hadn't done it and I was worried about what would happen. It's that I'd already done it and I knew what happened. So thinking that I was going to do or get a different result took conscious effort on my part to really think through. And so I caught myself last year recognizing that I was having all these things that had stacked. And so my nervous system, my body, my being was going, "You're tired, man. Please take a break. Please take it easy." And so even though I had all this success, I had made millions of dollars in my career. I had all these accolades, all these awards, got to travel the world, work with people like Tony Robbins and Tim Ferriss and Lewis Howes and Pat Flynn and all these different people. That happened from a kid who was young and naive and didn't know what the heck was going on. But yet when I had lots of connections and lots of success and lots of stuff, I actually took less action because I was more afraid. And you could also say maybe I had more to lose, right? So a person who has had too many years of not gaining much momentum really needs to do that inner work. Because when we start to clear these things out and become aware of what's sabotaging us, aware of what the blind spots are, we can go from massively overthinking our actions to massively imperfect taking actions. And so for some people, that's easier than others. And if it's not easy for you, then we got to go inside. We got to dig inside. It's not the tactics. It's not the strategies. It's not the lack of information. The information's in abundance. Why do people with $10,000 programs not take action? They're not lacking the information. There's something going on that their brain is saying, don't do that. It's scary. I'm going to get hurt. It's going to not be good. When you have no idea, you might just act. But when your brain and your body has ideas because you've done it before or you've seen other people do it and you think what might happen, then you get sabotaged. And what you think is the problem is you don't know how to do it, when in fact there's something else going on that's preventing you from doing what you know how to do. So anywho, god diggity dang. So how do we overcome this? You've got to become aware. So the thing that I do is, in the work I do, I say, when I hear you, I can help you. So I have and hear people's stream of consciousness and start to hear the language, the words, the ideas, the thoughts that they have that are just coming out of their mouth. And then I reflect back to them and bring awareness to these things, because at times you don't even know what you're thinking. You don't even know what you're saying. And so if you've got a friend, if you've got somebody, trusted, or you start to do it yourself and become obsessed with the words that are coming out of your mouth. And what you focus on, you tend to get. So what I find is you don't want to use words like, so I used to say, I don't want to travel anymore. I don't want to do video, and I don't want to have debt, right? So what happened is I got more video, more travel, and more debt, because all I could see and all I was thinking about was the travel and the debt, right? So the brain is not quite aware of don't or do. I do want to do video. I don't want to do video. It's I do want to do video, or I do want to do coaching, right? I do want to travel, or I do want to stay home. Like, that's where I try to stay. I'm very conscious now overall that what I say matters. I'm planting seeds each and every day. So if you're being a person who is saying things that are disempowering, discouraging, demotivating, and you're planting seeds every day that say, I can't, I won't, I don't know how to, I'm always stuck, it never works out for me, nothing ever works out, all of that is programming you to be a person who, what does a person do who's being not confident, right? What will a person do who's being not confident versus being confident, right? You'll do very different things. If you think different, be different, you do different, you get different. And so for me, I took a lot of imperfect inspired action early in my career, but then I had a lot of things that were good happen, but I had a lot of things that I deemed bad, and I got scared, and I got tired, and I got exhausted. And honestly, I spent the last year and a half healing the hurt, right? For a little bit, I may have felt hopeless, and now I'm hopeful. But the thing is, the inner work I did that last year and a half, where I was not taking all the action, making less money than I made before, I was learning and I was healing, and I was learning and I was healing, and I was learning and I was healing. So I could show my body it's safe to act again. It's safe to do again. It's safe to go out there. I might have known it intellectually, but my body was saying, no, it's not. So I took way less action, and I worked through things. And in working through things, now I'm ready to rock and roll again because I am a person who really sees that there's more good in the inspired and perfect action than there is in the overthinking the actions. There's a time and a place to think, there's a time and a place to act. But I find that, again, action creates clarity, and we're trying to create the clarity through thinking. And really, until you do, you won't know. And so, anyways, I can go on and on, trying to keep these suckers to 5 or 10 minutes. Keep them cranking. Otherwise, they'll be 45 minutes. But anyways, I hope you found that helpful. If you've got questions the greatest thing I can say with my content is that I love feedback. And I love when somebody's misunderstanding something, misinterpreting something, needs a follow-up question. That's how I do my work. If I say something and you don't understand it, I want you to ask me. Because if I can bring clarity, you'll more likely move, right? When people are confused, they typically don't move and they don't act. And so I want to get people into action. And we've got to figure out what is holding you back. And is it what you think it is, or is it something else? And I love to help people see those blind spots. If you go into a dark basement, it's scary. But if you can shine a light down there, it's less scary. So I want to shine a light on what's dark. And when we bring awareness to it, we can do something about it. So rock and roll, my friend. Leave a comment below, or wherever in the world you hear this or get this. Get over to me. Find me. You can find my name, Michael Gebben, pretty much anywhere. Send a message. Let me know. Leave a comment. Like, subscribe. Let's rock and roll. I want you to help you become the mechanic of your mind so your dreams don't die in your heart, your head, or your hard drive. So thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. We'll talk soon. Take care.